What's up, y'all? What's up? In the Mix Podcast back in the building. We got our girl Jen in the building. Waiting on AJ to come in. We got a great show for y'all. We got a great show lined up for y'all like we always do. Put it in the mix. Jen, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's
So
been a
nice to
while,
see
so I'm
you. I
really glad
know,
to see
right?
you
It's
guys.
been a minute. It's been a minute. And of course, we got the
Priest.
you see, he's sitting up higher than me because he wants to let everybody know that
I'm the highest of the high.
yeah,
I'm the highest priest. I'm
he's
the high priest.
he's the alpha in this.
You know, I'm the high priest.
He's the high priest. But yeah, like I said, we got a great show. We got Jan in the building. We got AJ about to drop in a minute, and Judah's like always got some great podcast topics for y'all to hit y'all with.
Definitely.
But before we get into all that, we got a word from our sponsor. We got to take care of the sponsor.
On our podcast scene, we blaze our own groove. Fresh and Judas and Sync always on the move. Volume up, top stories in our vibe. We're soaring high on the podcast ride. In the mix, let's uplift, take that flight. Fresh and Judas, bright stars in the night. 3, 2, 1, hustle and thrive. Together we're dreams stay alive. Dreams stay alive. It's on the mix. Dreams stay alive. Sky high glow, our voices in tune. In the podcast world, we create our own mood. Driven by fire, our passion shines through. Listeners too, for thoughts so new. In the mix, let's uplift, take that flight. Fresh and Judas, bright stars in the night. 3, 2, 1, hustle and thrive. Together we're dreams stay alive. Dreams stay alive. It's on the mix. Dreams stay alive. Words that flow like music in the breeze. Podcast magic with tales that please. Fresh and Judas making waves, stories unfold as the audience craves. In the mix, let's uplift, take that flight. Fresh and Judas, bright stars in the night. 3, 2, 1, hustle and thrive. Together we're
I like the new theme song.
Oh yeah. Thank you, Jen.
Thank you. Thank you.
I wrote it.
It's nice. That's how
I
I
wrote it.
like it. I like it.
Yeah, you hear me? I wrote it.
He wrote
Oh,
it.
stop
Yeah,
playing.
yeah.
That's
I got all kind
great.
of skills, all kind of bag, tricks in my bag.
Yeah, he actually wrote it. I can't. That's the funny part. I can't lie. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I actually wrote it.
That he actually wrote it. So yes, and actually,
That's great.
uh,
Um.
Oh, we got AJ in
Oh,
the
here we
building.
go.
What's up, my brother?
Oh, word. Okay.
Oh
hello,
yeah.
hello,
What's
hello.
going
What's good,
on?
bro?
Hey, want to welcome you to Intermix Podcast.
Hey, man. Thank you so much for having me, man. I'm excited to be
Yeah,
here.
man. Yeah, man. Fresh and Judas. I'm fresh, and this guy, you see how high he's sitting there. You know, you got to be Judas.
High priest.
Right. Exactly.
Oh man. So,
Yeah.
so AJ, tell us something about you, man. Tell us something about yourself.
Oh, man. So, well, first of all, man, I appreciate you guys for having me on. Jenny,
My,
thank you for the connect. I'm from a small town in Louisiana.
my
Country.
wife from Louisiana.
Where? What part?
Uh, Third Ward.
Oh, from New Orleans. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Third word.
yeah.
Oh, I'm like, what? I started thinking about Hunger Games or something like that.
so, so here's the thing about Louisiana. Everybody thinks Louisiana is New Orleans.
Yeah. Oh, see, I just thought it. I just thought it was.
Yeah. That's the normal, you know what I'm saying? But when you say third ward, I know that's like, one of the wards in New Orleans.
Yeah.
But the place that I'm from, bro, is so much smaller and it's a country town. So, raised by my grandmother, left the small town, made it out essentially the trap. Went to Southern University, uh, got my degree from there, moved to Atlanta, and I spent probably 20 years building software.
Okay.
So that's, apps, software platforms, managing software teams, offshore, nearshore, all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I had a parallel career in radio. So software developer by day, radio, nightclub promoter by night, kind of living that double life.
Oh, okay.
Um, and to fast forward the story, during the pandemic, I built a software platform called Blooksy. And the premise of the software platform was to streamline the book writing process, because I owned a publishing company prior to building the software. So that's what I've been, man. It's kind of funny. The joke that we made earlier today was, I'm selling software out the trunk.
Oh man, you gotta start
I'm
somewhere,
about to
man.
say, you got to
You gotta
start
start somewhere.
somewhere.
That's a little different, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. So ultimately, the goal is this, bro. As Black people, our stories get lost, right? So if you think about your ancestors, my ancestors, we have very rich stories about how we survive or how they survive different things to provide for us, right? My grandmother dropped out of school, because she had to. Her mother passed away, but she was focused on education, and because of that, she pushed me and my siblings and my uncles and aunts to go on and achieve more. And sort of taking that same premise of, you know, using what you have to empower other people. I built this software to help people tell their stories. So, we're
Oh,
working with schools. We've published almost 500 kids in the last 18 months across the country in 5 states. We've published almost 1,000 authors since I built the software in 2021. We were in universities they're using my software for dissertations, academic articles. We have grant writing companies using the software. And ultimately, bro, it's something that everybody has a story. And my belief is that everybody should share their story. If not for, the world that we live in now, everything is about monetization, right? How can you
right.
create content and monetize? That there's a lane for that. But there's also a lane for my grandmother and her story to be told. We're working with senior living facilities to capture those stories because I barely know my great grandmother, right? But I'm
Right.
sure if I knew that, even if it's not a best selling book or whatever, it's something that she could pass down to my parents and to her, to my kids. You know what I mean? It's like a legacy thing, right? So, and I'm sure, if you guys have children, your children will have children, they would be intrigued to know the impact that you guys are having on people's lives. Um, and most people, 10 years after they're dead, you don't know, the people that are alive know nothing about them, right? But if we could document our stories in books the way that other people in other cultures have, at least our family lineage could pay it forward. And from time to time, the people that make impact in cities like, again, I'm in Detroit, Atlanta, we're in the Gullah Geechee community in South Carolina, we're in Vallejo in California, we're in Harlem in New York. There are stories that are relevant to every city that get lost, right? So again, what if we could capture all those stories? And again, not going broad as a bestseller, but going and one story at a time. I think that we can not only impact literacy with kids and teaching them how to write, but we can capture our stories so that our children and grandchildren and great grandchildren can understand the things that we went through. And if it's something bad, maybe they don't have to go through it. Maybe they can learn from their granddad and be like, yo, granddad was wild. So I ain't gonna do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Right.
anyway, I know it's a long answer.
Oh,
But
no,
but
no, just take your time, bro.
that's sort of the philosophy that I think about stuff with, bro.
Right. Yeah, man. Man, take your time. When you're in the Mix podcast, we believe in giving our guests
So
the leeway to just talk about everything they're trying to promote and do. I said that's why we really ain't saying that because we
right.
dialed into what you saying, bro.
And
We
plus,
actually,
it's our own, so everybody can't rush us.
right. You
There
can't
you
rush.
go. That's the fact right there. When you own it, you own the
Yeah.
platform, bruh.
Right.
Right.
So,
Yeah. So
So-
you're not giving no long explanation, bro. Keep going. We in tune. We definitely in tune.
So
So-
word. So Miles Davis said, when you own your own shit, even the sky ain't the limit.
right.
There you go.
That is what's up. So question. So
What's up, fam?
so you are. And so is it to get? Don't do that before I put it up.
Oh my bad.
Do you so you pushing literacy like for people to read and write?
So that's one component, right? So
Okay.
there's the literacy component, and again, I over index on books, just because that's I ran a consulting firm for a little bit, and I promise you, I've ran mayoral campaigns, I've ran city councilman campaigns, and bruh, I'm no different than most of the people on the campaign. The only difference between me and a lot of other people that were consultants is I was the most well read out of all the people.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
So I can connect to the streets, I can connect to politicians, I can connect to city government, I can connect to grant writers, professors, whatever. But the only reason is because I read a lot. And my grandmother, because she didn't have the education, she pushed it on us, like to the point where we would get whoopings, like for real. You know what I'm saying? Like if we didn't read, she would have books and we would have to explain it to her. And at the time, I didn't know that she didn't know what we were explaining to her. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yeah.
I like that.
you know what I'm saying? But she made sure that, we had to read. We had to read not only, we were in church a lot, but education, encyclopedia, books, like whatever it was. So I try to, specifically amongst Black men, there's so much knowledge out there, bruh, that if we could just wrap our mind around some of the things that are free to us, it would give us an advantage in certain types of conversations. And
Correct.
I don't want to go.
No, I really agree with that. I tell people all the time, I talk a lot. And of course, we have a podcast.
Yeah,
So,
he
and the one thing about that is because, like you said, I read so much. And
Right.
there's two reasons I started reading like that. One is because I was told that if you want to hide something from Black men, put it in a book. And so I felt like whatever they were going to keep from me was going to be in a book. So I had to read to find it. That was one. And then number two is when I was young, when I got in trouble or when I did something wrong, my punishment was reading encyclopedias and learning.
Yes. Same.
And I felt that I had a nick for it. I was like, oh, wow, I could keep this in my head and this stuff. And I like to tell people I know a lot of what they consider useless information, but it's not, because it put me in places in conversations with people that'd be like, oh, you know about this? Oh, I do know a little bit about this. I know a little bit about this. I can,
Correct.
like you said, I can find myself in many rooms because I've been reading and learning and absorbing all of that knowledge. So I like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And bro, I agree, man. It's I don't want to wax poetic, but I think it's just there are so many opportunities that we could take advantage of. And I'm talking, specifically about us as Black men. We just gotta, take our time to just dig deep. And the more you understand, the less easily you are offended by things.
Yeah.
Right.
That's me.
I like that.
I like that.
I
Right.
like that. Coin that. As
So-
a put on a shirt.
Right. So, and once the less you are offended, the less reactive you are. Right. And the more control you have over your reactions, the more discipline you have. So it sort of cascades down to a lot of different areas, bro. But the short answer to your question, man, I think that, to your point, knowledge is inside of books. Reading and comprehension and understanding how to apply it to life is one thing. But then there's another part where if you can take that and then turn it around to communicate your story in a way that other people can attach to the life lessons that you have. Because again, if I were to sit, we were to sit together to share your stories, I promise you 20% of the people that listen to your podcast would love to know what led you to start your podcast.
Right.
And
That's
and and on top of that, what are the things that you've learned from interviewing different types of guests? And and you guys have interviewed different types of people, so you have lessons learned from that, and you apply those to other types of people. Because I'm sure you've seen somebody, you're like, yo, after the show, y'all are talking to each other like, "Yo, we ain't gonna do that again, bro. That was wild." You know,
Yeah.
woo,
Oh
woo,
man,
woo.
We got a lot of those. A lot of
we got
those. A lot of those.
a lot of them.
Right? But you see what I'm saying? So imagine if you took all those lessons, and or on the flip side, if you're like, "Yo, we need to do that more," because when we did that, it sparked a whole different conversation that we never thought about. Woo, woo, woo. So now you have the negative experience and the positive experience, and you put that into a book, and now people are like, "Yo, we need to buy this book," so that we know when we interview people, we need to follow their blueprint, so y'all can create the blueprint for the next generation of people that look up to y'all.
Right.
You see, so anyway, that's kind of how I think about knowledge transfer, and that's so okay. And I feel like I'm going on and on and on. But the
Right,
other part is the other part is knowledge transfer, bruh.
yeah,
Like, cause think about it. One of the things that, and I can only speak to our community. How many people do you know? Do y'all know? And you don't. It's a rhetorical question, but how many people do you know that they made it and they ain't trying to share nothing with nobody else?
Oh, you talking about those
Gatekeeping.
gatekeepers?
The
Mhm.
gatekeepers, right? But what if we shifted our mentality to be like we intentionally give back intentionally, right? Because when you earn your spot, nobody can take your spot.
yeah,
Period.
right. That's
Right.
Like
fact.
there's enough. Like I said, man, I can go on and on and on. I'm happy to have these conversations, man.
Yeah, bro.
And
And
bruh,
like and what you saying, bro, because like with us with podcasting, we have no problem with teaching and showing somebody how to do podcasting, how to
bingo,
system,
bingo.
and how to run the system that we use.
The way that we use it or
Yeah.
what we use. Like some
Yeah,
people
we
do
all-
ask us about
I was on the phone
What's-
for like 2 hours with
right.
somebody teaching them how
what
to.
y'all using the broadcast out and
Yeah.
stuff. So we definitely like that. We definitely, I don't believe in gatekeeping anyway. And like go to what you're saying anyway. Like for me, like right now, my journey is the things that I'm going through. So I write, and so I do the poetry and stuff. So a lot of
Word.
things that I write in my poetry is my journey of what I've personally been through for my years of just going through stuff. That would be good, something to do to put it in to make it a book, so that my children or my family can read it and or somebody who going through the same stuff that I'm going through can
Yeah, someone
understand
having a
how
similar
you went through it.
experience.
Right, and
Right.
make it out, because mine is not I didn't make it through. I made it through the things. So the stuff.
Facts.
So that's
Facts.
a map that you can take or something you can govern after. It's not one of them stories that it ended bad. This is I made it story. So
Exactly. You made it through.
So my question to you, AJ, bro. So say if I want to get my story told and sit down, how do I connect with you, and how does that work out with us connecting and getting the story out? So in the way that we want
So it's a couple of different ways, man. So Jennifer, right here in Detroit, is a great resource. So we have a framework, and it kind of depends on the way you want to tell your story, right? So
Okay.
it's um and Jennifer, I'm looking at Jennifer as if she could read my mind.
I know I see you
Right.
pause.
right.
But think about, okay, so if you want to tell your story, right? And I'll say this to anybody. There are things that happen in our lives that we know we learn lessons from, right? And those could be things in elementary school, things in junior high, things in, summer camp. It could be you play football, basketball, whatever your thing is, right? But these are different little, almost like vignettes, like little stories in your life that you learned a lesson from. You're like, yo, man, I remember my first girlfriend dumped me and blah, 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 or, whatever. You learn a lesson like, man, I'll never go do that again, right? That little thing that you experience, if you could tell that story in a way to where you can pull out the lessons learned, that's what TED Talks are,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Your life is full of TED Talks. I promise you, if you pay attention, just even the way that we're on this podcast right now,
Right.
if told the right way, it's a TED Talk. I came to Detroit to do a workshop. And my goal was to meet some brothers that Jenny was going to introduce me to. We had a great time at the workshop. She was like, yo, AJ, I got these. I'm gonna be on a podcast and I talk to these other two other brothers that are doing amazing things. Um, you should, get on the call, share what you're doing, blah blah blah. I could literally detract from that story and retell it in a way to where, I met these two brothers. I was able to share my story in Detroit. Who knows who's listening to this story who might be like, you know what? I want to take this to my church, or I want to a group of kids that we work with, right? So I could take that story, but that's just one story. So imagine you had something similar happen last week. You had something similar happen when you were in college your freshman year, or somebody who, you know, just went through a divorce, somebody who just went through a domestic violence situation, or somebody who just met the love of their life, or somebody who just had a baby. All those are little stories, and you can learn lessons from them. So you take all those stories, and you don't have to do it chronologically, but you pull the lessons out of those stories, and that would become sort of the premise for a book.
Oh wow.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't
Yeah.
have y'all. So have y'all read Will Smith's book, or what's the comedian's name from Africa? The light skinned brother was on the Daily Show.
Trevor Noah.
Trevor Noah. Yo, I don't know if y'all read his book, Born a
I love
Crime. It's literally one of the best books ever.
Okay.
Right? But his book is just a series of little stories of his life growing up in apartheid, the things that he learned, woo, woo, woo. But it's no different than somebody who grew up, like I grew up in the hood in Louisiana, small town. I didn't, Pops wasn't around. So, typical story. Pops wasn't around, grew up in the trap, woo, woo, woo. It's just full, his book is full of those little stories. And it makes you realize, like, yo, most people that look like us, we didn't come from like bread. We didn't come from money like that. You know what I'm saying? We had to figure stuff out. I don't want to cuss. We had to figure stuff out. We had to survive, and we had to make the best of what we had. If you capture all those little stories, man, you put them together, you got a dope book.
Right. Facts. Because
Right.
I asked the question because, like, Judah sitting here, man, this brother would have a great story. That's why I asked him, trying to figure out how y'all can hook up, because he has a great story, man. This brother been through a lot, seen a lot, done a lot, and he's still here kicking and doing his thing. And that's why I was asking, because I think that'd be a good idea for y'all to hook up and do that.
Absolutely. But for me, man, I'm available, bro. Jenny is doing amazing things. Like, she has a weekly call where she's working with how many women, Julie? I said Julie, Jenny.
You sure did. I was about to be like,
All that is not caring. We good.
I just hung up with Julie Dietrich.
at least you kept the first letter.
No. So I just hung up with a sister named
Your name is Girl Speak.
I just hung up with Julie Dietrich, and she's from Detroit, and she was at the last writers workshop. So my brain is
Always work.
No, quite all right.
Jen's a great sport. Judas called her Karen one time. He called her Karen one time.
Guys,
Remember that?
especially from our first podcast.
I was using that. I didn't even notice.
So I got about 60 people in rotation.
That's
So and any given Tuesday or Thursday night, we have anywhere from 2 people to 15, 16 people out at a time.
right, and she's helping them sort of craft their story over time.
That's awesome.
Right. So it's one thing, like I just kind of gave you all the very high level thing. It's one thing to understand those stories and the impact that they could have. But the other part is to have somebody to kind of guide you through the process, because what we do when we tell stories is, unless we were led to dig deep, we typically just tell the high level story. Oh, yo, I'm from the, I came up from blah, 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 or I went through this crazy situation with my ex, or yo, I met this person and he got me this, dope job. And you know what I'm saying? Like we sort of minimize the things that we go through. But if we dig down like 2 layers deeper, there's a real story to almost everything we go through. And we just have to understand how to tell those stories. And if you do that in a way where again, I'm saying the same thing, but if you do that in a way to where you share what you learn, literally there are people waiting to learn what you learn so that they don't have to go through the same thing.
Right. Right. So so if I was to tell my story, you would definitely have to help me, because for some odd reason I tell stories in reverse.
Yeah.
No, that's not bad though, bro.
I don't know why I tell it
That's
in
not
reverse.
a bad thing.
then I'll be looking for people
Stop
like,
saying that. It is.
yeah, please keep encouraging me.
Stop that. It is a bad thing. No
I don't know
one
why.
reads the story in reverse. Okay? Stop that. You are a school
You know,
teacher. You
you know
stop
what?
that.
Some people-
I tell a story. I don't know how it happens. He get on me all the time. I don't know what you're talking about. 'Cause I always-
that ain't nothing but a flashback.
Right. That's
Yeah.
a moment.
right,
Mhm.
man.
Mm.
That's
Stop
funny.
encouraging that.
Yeah,
No.
no, but bro, like again, I can throw my email out there, or
Yeah,
you
please
know,
do.
so my company is called Blooksy, Blooksy. So it's just Blooksy, Blooksy, Blooksy at Blooksy.com. That's my personal email. I respond to everybody,
Okay.
right? So our software is $300 a year, but if you hit me up directly, I can work something out to where we set up something so you can just tell your story and you don't have to pay 300 a year. We can just set up something to where you tell your
But
story.
that's not bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, but again, so for me, the 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 win for me is people actually being able to tell their stories, because I feel like the more people I can help tell their stories, whether it's free, pay, whatever, like once it's out there and you're like, people are like, yo, how did you write your book? Oh, I met this dude named AJ. I signed up for this company name. Like it'll take care of itself over time.
You know, that's crazy because I talk to a lot. When I talk to people, a lot of people be saying, like, well, you know, the interesting ones. You know, of course, the people that's not interesting. I mean, not saying that you're not interesting, but
Sure.
the people who just, you know, just tell you stories or talk with you and things like that. A lot of them always be like, "Oh man, I should write a book, huh?" I'd be like, "Well, write a book." Even I don't know why. I just like to encourage people. Just go ahead, write a book about it. If you feel like it's that interesting, you telling me, I feel like I'll read it and be like, "Oh, I got that interested."
Right. Tell the
So,
story. You're exactly right.
because I love to hear people's stories all the time, and
I love
we
a good
do.
story.
We are we good at storytelling. It's just, I would rather I like it in the book. Put it so we can read it, and then it's there eternal. When it's written down, it's in the book. So
Bingo.
Right.
I like that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like this. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, AJ, man. Yeah, that's dope. We definitely gonna get contacts before we get off here.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
And you know, and then not we just budge in until she give it to us.
Right.
I be
And
You
going
already
to her
know I
pop
got
up
you guys. I got you guys.
and we're gonna do a like again, I love Detroit. It's like literally my third favorite city. Um so
What's number
we're
1 and 2?
so number one is New Orleans.
Okay.
Number two is Atlanta, that's where I live. And then Detroit.
Is your number
Okay,
one New
okay.
Orleans because
That's
of the
fair.
food?
New Orleans?
Is your number one New Orleans because of the food?
It's because that's where that's where I'm from. So I'm not from New Orleans, but I'm from Louisiana. So it's like where I resonate, right?
Okay.
It's like, so you can't tell now, but I had a very strong accent. I've been in radio now for like almost 8 years.
Okay.
So my Louisiana accent is gone. But you know, it's when I talk to my mama or my family, it's like it's home, bruh. You know what I'm saying? So the food, the culture, the love that we have in Louisiana, we're a very celebratory community. We celebrate even at death. We dance at after funerals. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like on
Yeah,
purpose.
you sure do. I've been down there. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's more like we celebrate life. We celebrate experiences that we don't spend a lot of time. Well, we mourn too, like everybody else, but it's more of we try to figure out ways to celebrate each other, right? I just love the culture of trying to find the silver lining that we can celebrate. And it's a through line because although that's a thing that happens in death, bro, you can find something to celebrate everything. Even the roughest stuff that you've been through, once you go through it, you can look back and be like, yo, you know what I learned? Boom. Right? So I love that culture of celebration. Atlanta Atlanta is just, I think Detroit and Atlanta are like cousin cities.
Yeah, everybody
Right.
say that. They're like cousins.
Yeah. Right.
Really?
Detroit, Atlanta, DC. It's all, excellence. Is black
Yeah.
folks that are doing things. So I just love that.
Right. So Yeah, AJ, man. Once again, thank you for coming on. We're not getting rid of you yet because
No, yeah, bro.
Judas has some podcast questions that we're gonna go over. But before we do all that, we got to give Jen her shot. You know, let
Yeah,
Jen.
I'm sorry.
No. You good. I'm just saying, like overall in general, you know, Jen gonna get to introduce Jen after we take this quick break, real quick. You know, our artist Sage that we manage, he has a documentary he's working on that's coming up. He got shows scheduled starting March 30th. We tour around the city. He's singing, and he also has another show that he's doing April 26th. And just in case y'all want to don't think the boy can do his thing, we got something for y'all real quick. So we'll be right back with more AJ and Jennifer right after this. Check our boy Sage out.
Oh yeah, in 1 million years, I never thought I'd meet someone as perfect. I never thought that, oh no, someone can make my mind go round in circles. I never thought there was a beach with jet black sand, Jersey. Oh, like my legs, I can't walk around without you. Oh, like my heart, the rhythm's bound to change without you. The way it beats, tapping on my mind. Holding on, can't let go of you. Oh, said I heard, oh, that it never really rains in Arizona. That's what I heard, and it came from the mouth of the one that I'm all in love with, girl. To the words of a preacher, to the ears of a deacon, your eyes don't see the same when you're speaking. I'm so in love, in love. Yes, I'm going back to Arizona. Legs, I can't walk around without you. Like my heart, the rhythm's bound to change without you. The way it beats, tapping on my mind. Holding on, can't let go of you. Holding on, I can't let go of you. Now if I had to choose between money and you, girl, give me sunshine and rain, pleasure and pain. Oh, I'd rather be holding your body. Like my legs, I can't walk without you, baby. No, baby, yeah. Like my heart, oh, like my heart. Rhythm, where it beats, tapping on my mind. Holding on, I can't let go of you. Ooh, baby, say baby.
That was young Sage doing this thing. Man, y'all can check him out and catch him at the what is it called? I can't think of the name. I can't remember the name.
The Village.
The Village. That's what.
No, no, you
Ujo Village. Umoji.
Yeah,
You know what I mean.
that was
It's
a
like-
nice song. I haven't heard
Oh,
that
yeah.
one.
Oh yeah. So yeah, what did y'all think? AJ, what you think? What Jen, what y'all thought of this Sage?
So I heard him at the very end. I couldn't hear the beginning, but
Oh,
bro
okay.
has pipes, man. I spent
Oh yeah.
a couple years in the music industry in Atlanta. Bro, he got pipes.
Yeah, we did a show down in Atlanta
Okay,
last summer. So yeah. But
word.
yeah, so
It
Jen,
was smooth. It was real nice.
it's real nice, right? I taught him
Mhm.
everything you know.
Jennifer.
If I gotta choose between that and you after sunshine and rain, like
Right. Let the sunshine. Oh, don't get me started. Pleasure and pain.
Lord,
I,
please
that was
stop.
nice. It was
I'd
real
rather
nice.
be holding your body. All right, I'm quit.
He
That's all
always
I'm
go.
good, y'all.
He always.
That's all I'm good, y'all.
So Jen, what's going on, Jen?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I'm working on a lot of different projects right now. The first one, of course, was Blooksy. That while AJ was in town, so I've been doing some um author coaching, and during the week I have some sessions where we're doing writing and just helping authors get their stories out. So that's one of the things that I'm doing. Another thing that I'm doing, I got a couple of projects coming up. Uh, First one is I'm working with Terrence Mahone, Lyndhurst Street Films, and we'll be working behind the scenes
Are
on
you
this
working behind the scenes?
behind the scenes. So this will be my
Okay.
first time really behind the scenes. So I'm excited about that because that's always been something that interested me. I mean, I love being in front of the camera, but I'm just as excited about being behind the camera as well.
All right.
Yeah, so we're gonna start working on that in May. So definitely I'll keep y'all updated.
Okay.
One of the biggest things that I'm super excited about is that I finished my first script, my own movie script.
Oh, okay. All right,
Oh, you
Jen.
gonna put me in a movie?
Well, come on. I
Yeah.
mean, everybody has to audition though, Judas. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna say that. Everybody had to audition. You know.
Yeah. You got to say that. But you're gonna give us a part.
Right. Otherwise, I got the whole crew in my movie like, oh, doggone it. I don't know what to do with everybody. But yeah, so that's coming up that we will be filming this year. So I'm going to be working with some really great people, some of whom you know. KB will be helping me with the project. He is actually going to be my songwriter. Any of the music that I am doing, he is going to be writing and singing, or he takes care of all of that stuff, right? Because
Okay.
I don't know if you guys have actually ever heard him sing, but he's got a song that he's about to drop right now too. So we should get him on and see if
Right. He didn't mention that when he said tell him all about him. He could have been like, I'm a singer, I'm a songwriter, I'm a writer.
He left that part out.
Yeah, he didn't tell us that.
Yeah, well, he is.
Because you know my favorite line. You say you a singer, sing something.
Yeah, you gotta give us a little sample of something in a minute.
You know.
Yeah. So that's what's happening, and he's about to drop one of his songs right now too. It's called "The Earth Is the Lord's." So yeah. Matter of fact, if you guys want, I don't even know how I can play it. I got it on this device. Let me see.
Yeah, see if you can play it.
You know what? I'm gonna do it like real old school.
Mm-hmm. Do it old school. We all
because I'm old school. I'm old
pretty
school.
much most of y'all in y'all 40s. I'll be in my 40 next month.
Stop it! Stop telling people how old I am. Lies. He's telling lies. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Okay. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
guess it's time to put the smack down. Enemy attacking from the back now. Really tried to kill me, but I'm back now. Said you tried to kill me, but I'm back.
Why do I know that?
I ain't did a play in so long, and I ain't even trying to act now. Things just a fact now. Both unseen and a fact. So since you need a reminder, and our needs are attached now, I'll just scream on the track for now. We gon' see who reacts. Since you need a reminder, and our needs are attached now, I'll just scream major facts now. And we gon' see who reacts to the fact that the earth is the Lord, 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 and they that dwell there.
I like this.
The earth is the Lord, the earth is the Lord, the earth is the Lord.
So anyway, that's a little sneak peek.
Yeah, the earth
I
is
like that.
Yeah, I mean, stop it, right? Like that needs to be on everybody's radio. But anyway, so I say all that to say, he will be writing and singing for me on my project. So give y'all something to look forward to.
Oh yeah, we definitely look forward to that. I like that. I love gospel music. The earth is the Lord.
Yeah. It's nice. It's nice. So, but yeah, that's what I'm up to. And then just you know, I got a couple other little projects that you know, that I'm working on. I got a movie that's supposed to drop this year, but
Okay.
I'm still waiting. So yeah, you know, I always got my hand in.
What's the name of the movie that's supposed to be dropping?
So it's called Fractured Hope. As a matter of fact, you guys had me and James C. Turner on, and we talked about that movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that was I think I came to the podcast, and that was when I had come in with the
Makeup on the 80s. I mean, that look. We had the 60s look.
I had the 60s look, and I had the
Yeah, I
gash in
remember.
my neck from the movie that I was in earlier in the day.
Yes.
Yeah, we were like,
I remember.
Jennifer, do we need to call for help?
Oh yeah, I remember.
But yeah, so that's supposed to drop this year. So a lot of big things are happening. I'm excited. I'm just trying to stay focused and organized with all of the things that I'm doing. But yeah, so that's a little bit. Oh, actually, let me tell you one more thing.
Okay.
So I just started another company called Word Nerd. And Word Nerd. So basically what it is just celebrating the love of learning. And so it's Word Nerd. A person who's a Word Nerd is an amazingly resourceful lover of knowledge. And with Word Nerd, I work in coalition with AJ, with his company, with Blooksy. So I'll be doing some workshops in the upcoming months where if people want to come in, I help guide them with, you know, getting their book set up and things of that nature. I do that, but I also utilize it for the Spanish services. So I do Spanish tutoring. I have a lot of content that I have that I am going to be putting on my TikTok, and you know, they call me Profesora, so you know, go and check it out.
Okay.
And so yeah, so that I'm using that as just another means of getting people excited about learning different things, getting out of their comfort zone, and yeah, not really being afraid to be themselves. So you know, sometimes people are like, oh, it's nerdy. Oh, well, no, I am a word nerd and very proud. So we're celebrating the love of knowledge. We're celebrating, you know, having the privilege of being able to, you know, learn how to write a book and to learn other languages.
Right. That's what's up, Jim. You always doing something great. Always.
All right.
Yeah, real quick,
Thank you.
tell us in your own words about AJ. Give us from
About
your
AJ?
perspective about AJ. Give us something.
Let me see. AJ is a word nerd. He is an amazingly resourceful lover of knowledge. But he's a very kind and generous person. He is very generous with his time and his resources. I've been knowing AJ now for, let me see, about 3 or 4 years, I think,
Oh, okay.
and just started working with him the last 2. And he's just like, when I first started getting ready to write my book, he's like, okay, all right, I'm about to call you real quick. Okay, cool. And he's like, okay, it's normally like 15-minute call. We're on the phone for like an hour and a half, right? Because he's just like, okay, maybe you should go in this direction. Every time I talk to him on the phone, he's like, hey, how's this one idea that you had got, what's going on with that one? You could do this with that. You could do that with that. Like he really shares the different resources and the knowledge that he has. And I find, just like we were talking about with gatekeeping earlier, he's not a gatekeeper. He's very generous with, the knowledge that he has. And, yeah, and he's just real nice. He's just really nice. He's a nice person.
Yeah, I get that from AJ too. He comes as a real nice brother. Good down
Yeah,
there.
and he always has really like dope glasses, like really dope eyewear. So that's another thing.
Oh man, that's what's up. AJ, man, Jen loves you, man. So In the Mix podcast love you.
Man, Jen is part of the family, bro. Jen is definitely part of the family. Like instant fast friend.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how it is with us too. When we met Jen,
Right.
we was instant besties. We should have pulled that clip of me and Jen interrupted him while he was trying to be serious.
If you can find that,
he was mad. You gotta see, you gotta see the look on his face. He was looking like, "Are you serious? Y'all gonna start singing while I'm trying to have a moment?"
I was just having a real serious moment.
He's having a serious moment. We just bust out singing.
That had to beat and everything. Like,
what song was it?
What was it?
Look, so let me just set the story up real quick. So
okay.
We're trying to talk about friends and can I think it was like can like opposite sex be friends, and can just we're having that kind of conversation. And you see me because I recorded it, right? And you see me and I'm just going like this, and you see there's something going on behind my eyes, and then I just start and I said, oh baby, you
right.
you got what I need. And then that's right when Fresh jumps in and he's like, boom, boom, boom. But you say he's just a friend. And then and before you know it, we're having a whole jam session. Yeah. And Judas is like, all right. But it was, and I got that on my social media somewhere too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we do too. It's on there somewhere.
It was literally like the cutest, not because we bothered Judas. Although that was it was a little bit funny. But yeah, that was cute. That was funny.
Okay. AJ and Jen, so before we go into the podcast question that Judas cooked up, he always cooking up something over there. He'll never let me know what it is, what he cooking up. But, before we get into it, can y'all drop y'all tags and everything so people know how to find and follow you guys? We're gonna ask you again at the end of the show, but just a good time to do it too.
Yes. So on Instagram, I am Miss_Jenny with the I_Rivas, RIVAS. So you can find me there. Facebook, it's Jennifer Rivas Murillo. Sorry, it's long. RIVAS_MURILLO. I'm on TikTok. And my TikTok is, they call me Profesora. Profesora is PROFESORA. When you spell it in your head, you got to think about it.
That's right.
Yeah, that's my Spanish TikTok. And then I also have my acting TikTok, which is Jen in the City. So just Jen in the City. That's it.
Okay.
And the THE or THA?
Oh, THE.
I just asked.
All right, AJ, bro, what you got?
Yeah, man. The easiest way to find me, or actually my most active platform, is Instagram. So I'm just AJ Joyner. That's AJJOINER on Instagram. That's the easiest way to catch me. Like I said, every comment, every message, I try to reply back to everything.
That's what's up. Okay, so Judas has this podcast question. You know, you gotta do his thing.
What's up, Judas?
Right. Why are you looking at the screen?
I'm putting it up.
Oh,
Dork.
okay.
I'm trying to look at the screen and do this at the same time. I'm engineering our show, Dork. Okay.
What to do? My partner is okay. Where are we at? But I want more. We're supposed to give relationship advice?
Nah, it's not. Why you want to go straight to a relationship?
My partner, who?
A partner could be anything. A business partner, it could be a life partner, it could be a friend.
So I can barely see it over here. I want to take a stab at it. Jenny, would you mind reading it out real quick so I can see it?
Yeah. What to do? My partner is okay where we at, but I want more.
Okay. So it does sort of read like a relationship thing, but I'm gonna take it to the business side. Okay. I think it is understanding the dynamics of your relationship, because in every relationship there's everybody has their roles, right? So it's what I would do in business, have us both in a room together and let's put our goals on the whiteboard so we can see like, hey, where do you see this going in a year? And this will work in relationships, it'll work in whatever kind of relationship, right? Just literally write it out on paper, on a whiteboard. In business, it would be a whiteboard. And you can clearly see where they see the future and where you see the future. That's the easiest way. And then you can also, once it's written down, you can see the gap. And what I would say is don't even write it on the board so you can see it. Both of you write it down together on a piece of paper. And then, on the count of 3, you share what you wrote down. And that'll tell.
I like the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Right. 1, 2, 3. Right. But that'll tell you like where you are, where they are, where they want to be, and where you want to be, and the delta in between that.
So,
and then once you, yeah.
So what happens when that person we start off like that, but then down the line, I'm okay where we at, and that person wants to advance more.
Sure. So I think it's at that point, once you understand that and you're very clear about it, that's why I tend to say write it down, because that is literally, it puts it on paper, like tangibly. So once you do that, then it's more about decision making. Are you willing to sacrifice what you want for what they want? So if you're the person that wants to go further and they're not, are you willing to stay where they are to sacrifice, for them? Or is your dream worth living into in a situation where they can't come with you because everybody can't go, right? And that's the hardest thing, is because we tend to let our emotions get in the way of clear decision making. And that's men, women, boys, girls, whoever. So are you going to, follow the emotional feel good decision? Because in lots of cases, it's so much easier to just stay where you are. Because that's where you're comfortable.
Yeah, it's comfortable.
Right. But if your vision is bigger, and I've had to have this conversation multiple times, and then you get, again, I'm just going back to growing up in the hood, you get survivor's remorse, right? So
and that's the real thing.
That's the real thing. And it's in relationships too, though. Right? Because, you got this person that loves you. You met them when you were down. You were just both starting out together. Boom, y'all fell in love and woo, woo, woo. And now y'all climbing up the ladder together. And now that person is like, we made it. And you're like, nah, this ain't where I'm stopping, though. I'm going bigger. Like, I don't want to just be in Atlanta. I want to be worldwide. I want to be in multi-city. And they're like, but that means you're not gonna be able to be at home with your family. And you're like, hey. And it seems selfish, but you got to be selfish with a capital S.
Yeah. Right? I like that. And you know what? I never thought about the survivor remorse when it comes down to a relationship.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, right, I think a lot of times we stay. That's why we don't want it. I fear of, I want more, but the other person don't want more, and I don't want to feel bad by leaving that person. And then I get more successful, or I get where we bet up, and then they look like, and then I look back like, oh, they didn't come with me. Oh, I left them back there. So,
Bruh,
that affects us.
I spent 3 years working in the music industry, you know, and I work only one person who everybody would know, and I don't want to name drop or whatever. But the guy who owns the label is a former producer, right? One of the stories that he talks about is when they first started out, it was 4 of them. And 3 of them, you know, they were all doing their thing. And one of them, his girl was like, you know, in the beginning, that's the struggle in the beginning. You ain't making no money. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when it's the real struggle. So what happened is she was like, look, you need to get a job. You gotta, you know, he had a kid. And I understand the sacrifice that comes with that. But so he left the group and he got a job and, you know, he did the stable thing. And almost 4 months later, they blew up. Everybody has heard of the 3. And the 4th one had his job. You know, and again, he had just a normal life or whatever. But his sacrifice, and he always envied the thing, and he resented her for it. Because she was like, yo, you got to get a job. So he got the job, and boom, they blew up after that. And if he would have just stuck with his gun, and I'm not saying there's upside and downside to both, right? But his dream became thwarted because he did what she wanted him to do. And I can only speak from a man's perspective. I see that a lot because women want stability and security and all these things. Whereas, and again, I'm not being sexist. I'm trying to be, you know, whatever.
Right.
But we'll sacrifice a lot more. Like yo, I got to be in the studio all night tonight, bro. Like, you know, it is what it is. But sometimes and again, sometimes it's maybe for the best, whatever. But you just have to be very clear about what you want and understand that if you sacrifice for somebody else and you don't want to with your heart and soul, you will have resentment you might have resentment toward that person because you're always going to think, man, if I would have just went for my dream, and then you'll end up in this place where you're living a life that you feel like is too small for you because you had a big dream.
Yeah, man, that's a great answer.
Yeah, that's a lot right there.
That's gonna be tough to follow, but I'm gonna take the question as a relationship angle. So it kind of pertains to like my first wife I had, and it didn't work out because I wanted more, and she just couldn't. It's like she just wanted to stay where she was at. Then she was cheating on me, and you know, set me back some years. No, I'm just playing.
He just said that because she's asleep right now. Because I'm looking like when she see this, she gonna be mad.
You know, oh yeah, right. But no, but oh man, but no, for real. Like a lot, you covered a lot, AJ, bro, and like for me, and for relationship wise, me and my wife, I feel like we started from the bottom together. Like we grinded it out together from the bottom, just me and her living in her mama's basement, all that good stuff, to living upstairs, to own our own house now. All our kids are big and doing do great things in this world. We brought them up the way, you know, and relationships, always communication is always the best thing. Like you're saying, like, so if you do want to advance and do more, like you said, you got to sit down and have that conversation. You know what I'm saying? We got to come to understanding, and it's just I'm just firm believer in communication, because communication resolves a lot of problems and a lot of things. We don't let things go by unchecked. We did that for a long time, and it kind of blew up on us. And you know how, you know, we've been married for 23 years now, so you know it kind of blew up. Yeah, thank you. And because we was letting a lot of things go without saying things, trying not to irritate each other, but you know, we got over that and we communicate, talk about everything. If it the smallest to the biggest thing, and communication is the key. Any relationship, business, friendship. You know, I have friends that, yeah, I ain't going down a rabbit hole. But did I have y'all? Did I have y'all for a minute?
He being really nice. He being really nice
with the
today.
wife thing.
He did it really nice, really nice. But you know what? See, in the relationship wise, I feel like it's so.
How you gonna go before Jen?
I'm not going before. I'm just going jumping
Oh,
around you,
okay.
dork. Like, you know, do you know he always do this?
I got your back, Jen.
He always do this. He always find a way to stop me from talking. He always interrupt me while I'm getting a good point. And then what's gonna happen? I'm gonna freaking forget it, and then I would be mad because I would have a good point. I don't even know where I was going now. I don't even know where I was going. It was something about relationships. I can't even remember.
It'll come back to you. It'll come back.
No, it won't. Not what I was saying because it was in the moment. That's conversation, not robot. We not your turn, my turn. You're a jerk. Yeah, he bullied you. That's why you gotta look up to me.
Oh. Well,
nah. Go ahead, Jan. You may as well go ahead. What do you feel about this topic? Which way you gonna take it? We went business way. We went relationship, business. Which way you gonna take it?
Take it to friends.
I'm gonna take it across the board.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think whether it's your relationship, whether it's a friendship, whether it's business or whatever family, I think always keeping it 100, right? Because just like you guys have been saying, piggybacking off what you're saying, communicate. If you don't communicate, there's going to be resentment. There's going to be unsaid things. And then all of a sudden, it's like you finally bring it up and you're like, why didn't you say that before? Like, why you been holding on to that, right? And then again, that's across the board. Like, I need to be able to talk to my business partners about how I'm feeling, where I want to go. I need to be able to talk to my relationship about that. I need to be able to talk to my family, right? And then I think the other thing is too, and this is, I'm not saying this is not challenging, but it kind of speaks to like what AJ was saying. You got to let people be who they are. I can't make you be the person I want you to be. I mean, right? I can't make you, engage in the business relations I want you to do unless that's how you feel as well. I can't make anybody be, stay at home and be the stable, get the job when their dream is to go out and be a part of a band or a group, So we have to let people be who they are. Those are often hard lessons to learn. I've learned plenty of them the hard way, myself. But I would like to think myself just slightly, little bitty bit wiser because of the mistakes that I've made. Okay. So keep it 100 and let people be who they are. That's
right. And it's hard. It's hard when you like really care about that person and try not to change. It's so hard.
You know what?
Yeah.
I like all of these answers you all gave. You all guys brought out. That was really nice. Some very educated things y'all said. I like this. I like that. But now I'm gonna press the Judas button. Okay, I'm pressing the Judas button because screw that. Okay, y'all know they go well. There are people who stop this. Everybody not go communication. We do understand communication is needed. However, there's such thing as these people. Okay, let's start off with business. Okay, let's start off with the business first. I'm gonna get a wilder more versions of everything y'all just said. Business. Okay, listen here. We start all together. We made our plans, our future plans, our goals, aspirations. We know all of that. We got it written down. We talk about it. All right, speed it up. Years down the line, we all growing and changing and evolving. Some of them are devolving, but hey, I don't want. He don't want to do this. He wanted to do instead of us doing the restaurant we came up with. He wanted a restaurant in it and make it a bar, and then he want a library in there. I don't want that shit. I don't want it. I just want the restaurant.
Yeah.
I'm not compromising. I'm not, because my dream is my dream. When we started off, that was my dream. Because his life experiences or things that maybe ambition got bigger, but now he wants to add more to all. Our relationship is over. It's no compromise, no communication. Was nothing needs to be left but said, but okay, man, peace. I support you, you support me. Support to be supported. That's
And
it.
sometimes that's just how it is. Sometimes,
Right, because I'm not about
that's your decision.
100%.
Now, and in a relationship, I'm just gonna say it. Now, I learned the hard way. My first marriage, I'm just being honest. It wasn't what I thought it was supposed to be. It didn't go the way I was supposed to go. And I arrogantly like to say that I don't feel in a lot of things, but I can definitely say I felt marriage. Period. I didn't know how to be a husband or what a husband is supposed to do. I didn't know a lot going into it. So
you felt it was forced on you by people?
And
or is a decision, a sound decision?
I made the decision, but I made the decision based on what was told to me, what was seen to me, what was spoken to me, what I had to do, what needed to be done. What did you do? You do this, you do that, did you do that? After y'all date so long, this is what y'all are supposed to do. And that's how I went. So, but I'm saying that relationship was messed up because of that. Because at the beginning, the relationship wasn't even, we didn't have the same mindset of what we was going to do and how we was going to do it. And then the overall thing about it is that I just don't want people to be afraid to say, this is what I want, and stand on what they want and what they already said they were going to do. They don't always have to change because the person that they start off with changed. Because I feel sometimes we always carry on the one more than the other because we don't want that person to lose their light, their energy, their goal to. But at the same time, I want to diminish the person that says this is okay. It's okay to be content in something that they are okay with. And I don't want, because I know, because I have high ambition. So somebody may not have that. They might have that. And I remember because it always goes back to what Booker T and Frederick Douglass was talking about, and how they would argue. And I looked at it as an argument. I always looked at it as an argument on was it education, get your high education, and versus getting a trade or a tech job, educated and a certificate, and then go to work. And I always looked at those arguments like that. At that, instead of looking at it as just two great ways to improve yourself.
So I think that I don't disagree with either, but I think there's a downstream effect for both of them.
Okay.
Right. So, depending on the type of education and the type of trade and your ambition, because I can get a trade and I can become a plumber and I can open up a franchise and I can have the largest plumbing company in America. And I can, you know what I mean? And we can have offices in the top 10 markets in the US, and I become a billionaire on plumbing. But that's based on my ambition. Or I can become a most educated person and I can teach one class at one university and live a very good life. You know what I mean? So it just depends on how big your vision are, how big your visions are, and how well you execute on that vision. So I don't think there's a wrong answer, but I think there are trade-offs. And then the other thing is exposure, because different decisions expose you to different things.
Right. I agree.
So I decided, I'm from a small town called Leesville. When I decided I was gonna go to Southern University, I was all of a sudden exposed to Black people with a gold grill making a 4.0. And I was like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about cats that you look at them and you have an immediate judgment and they doing the damn thing. But that showed me that everything doesn't have to look the same way to accomplish, and again, the measure of success is a very personal thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, but I
Oh,
think
yeah.
the point is it's just every decision has sort of downstream impacts, and it introduces you to other things too.
Right.
Jen, you got anything you want to add to it?
Cool. That's cool.
Jen, you got anything you want to add? Or you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I feel
Me
like
too.
yeah,
I feel like I'm
it
good
was,
too.
He just wanted
uh-huh.
somebody to agree with him. Stop that, Jen. Y'all always do that with each other. I'm not playing with y'all. But so actually, so let's go for I just want to say this because we missed this spot. We missed this spot, right? So how's everybody been going right now? Because I feel like right now anything that's social media right now is just so much stuff, and people it's getting crazy out here. I was in dialysis this week, the last 2 weeks, and the older people there are really, if you listen to them, they feel like this the end of the world and it's over. And I'm like, wow, maybe they seeing stuff that I'm not seeing.
Is it really? It's about to be over.
Right. And I'm looking like, damn, is it this bad out here? They said. I mean, far as just period. They like, oh man, and this going on, and this going on. I'm like, I didn't know it was just that bad. Maybe it's just me. Is the world ending yet?
Well, I'm happy to say that we are all alive and in it right now. So and as long as I'm kicking and breathing, I'm gonna keep on doing what I'm doing, right? So
keep touching hearts, keep blessing.
It's definitely scaring people to do stuff and they don't want to do that. Now I would say I'm not getting on no plane no time soon because it's like planes are falling out the sky and I'm not about to tempt God.
Yeah, there is an unusual amount of planes,
right?
But I don't know. You know, I'm definitely not a conspiracy theorist, but I do believe that sometimes things are highlighted to get our attention off of other things.
I like the conspiracy stuff. I'm not one because I realize that it's just a rabbit hole, but I like listening to them.
But wait a minute, is that something that conspiracy theorists say? That I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but right. So
what? Don't do that. Jennifer, not.
Perhaps we are, and we just don't want to admit it yet. But no, but you know, I do think that you know, especially the media, you know, they'll highlight things that they want us to see.
It's
right?
fake news, you know.
Yeah, and then there's a whole lot of other things that maybe we're not paying as close attention to that are happening and getting passed, and you know, without going into like all political details and stuff, but you know, that kind of stuff happens all the time, you know, to get us non-focused, that word, not as focused on you know, things that really will affect our lives more, you know. But we're talking about the planes, not to diminish that, because you know, it is a little scary. Like, really? You know, I just flew, you know, I went to LA.
If it was one plane, I could understand, but it's different people, different
87. I know.
I don't know if it was just like, oh, that's just Spirit, but actually Spirit's the only one that haven't had a mishap with the plane. Well, everybody talk about everything else, and let me say this: I ain't never had a problem with Spirit. I fly Spirit all the time, and I'm just saying they the only one I ain't heard from plane falling out the sky yet.
Yeah.
So go Spirit.
Well, yeah, there are lots of theories, but you know, while it is an interesting conversation, I think that, you know, there's probably some sort of deterrent in there where you know, we just have to be mindful of all the things that are going on and watch various news sources, right? We can't.
TikTok's my only news I need.
If you're getting all your news from TikTok, you're getting it from the wrong place.
Don't do that, Jen. Don't do that.
Well, look, I want to thank y'all for coming on and hanging out with In the Mix podcast. AJ, don't go nowhere yet.
And
Don't go
don't be
anywhere. We
scared.
got to get more information from you. I got to get that email again because we're definitely gonna connect. We want to have you on again
And don't be
to talk
scared.
about everything. We'll have you on again. But
Cause,
do y'all want to have any closing remarks you want to make or anything to say? And also get your tags if you do.
Because Canada is going to cut off our electricity. Don't act like y'all don't. I saw it on TikTok. Canada is about to cut our lights off. We're going to be in the dark.
Hey,
And no
man.
movie going to be
It is
made
so.
in.
Let me talk about let me just say something about so I'm a tech nerd. I've been in tech. I graduated college in 95.
Ooh.
So I've seen the sort of the birth and sort of the rebirth of technology through multiple generations. And where we are now is no different than every advancement that we've had. I cannot tell you, I grew up in the 80s where we used to have the nuclear bomb drills. We would have to get under our desks, like that was gonna
Oh,
save us
I
from the
remember
nuclear.
that.
I'm glad I don't remember that.
Yeah, we used to have to do that. Yeah.
Right.
Like if there's a
So
nuclear bomb, ain't no desk, ain't no
Going in the
exactly.
hallway.
That's what they had us doing. I know
We had to
exactly
go out in the hallway, get down. We had to get on our desks. So this is just the new version of that. But as it relates to where we are now, it's a little bit more weird because everyone is in a bubble. We're in our own bubbles, right? The way the algorithms work, and y'all know this, this is not groundbreaking, but when you click on something, it's going to show you more of what you watch because they're paid to keep you on there. So if you watch a conspiracy theory video, the algorithm's going to be like, okay, he likes conspiracy theory videos. Next thing you know, you got 2 more and 3 more. And if you're not careful, you can surround yourself with a narrative that you can't even you don't even realize you're in it. You think that that's the world because that's what happens. And as somebody who ran an advertising agency, there are cookies on everything, right? So once the cookies are on your phone, you're gonna see it on YouTube, you're gonna see it on TikTok, you're gonna see it on Instagram, you're gonna see it on Facebook, you're gonna see it on Snapchat, and you're like, damn,
Oh,
everybody
right.
everybody believes in the flat earth.
On porn. Remember, it was on everywhere. It kept popping. All your porn kept popping up.
because of the cookies.
Right. But the point is, man, we have to challenge our assumptions and challenge, you know, like really even the way that we think about things, like be intentional about trying to understand people that don't believe what you believe. And I think, and also understand that 2 things can be true that are contradictory, right? So I don't know, man. I would just challenge us to kind of get outside of the algorithm if we can, and also put our phone down. Like I'm being self-referential on purpose, but Sunday mornings, bro, I'll turn my phone off and I'll go out to it's like a lake in Atlanta. I'll go out to the lake with no phone and just be without a phone in nature, just to kind of reset. Have y'all heard the term raw dog in a flight?
Raw dog? No, never heard
Okay, that's
I mean,
sort of a new.
together. I heard them separately, but not.
I was thinking that. I was like, not together.
So this is the premise. So the premise is this, the current generation. They're like, how can somebody take a flight, a airplane, a flight without their phone, and just be? In other words, what in the world can you do without your phone? Like people, the way we grew, first of all, we didn't have phones, and I know I sound like an old fogey or whatever, but
yeah, we didn't have phones.
Y'all
I'm
did
up
not.
there with you.
Yeah, y'all.
right. So can we be alone with our thoughts? And I think a lot of the problems today is people don't know how to be alone with their thoughts. So they have to constantly feed themselves with these constant, endorphin rush and this constant dopamine hit, dopamine after the dopamine hit. Like unplug from it, bruh. And again, like I said, I'm 52 and I keep saying it because I feel like I don't want to be the old man, waving the cane and shit. I mean, and stuff. But you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you believe without that you don't necessarily have to appease other people, or you don't have to do for the algorithm. And I can write to the algorithm. I can write stuff that enrage people and get clickbait and do all the things or whatever. But what are your true thoughts? And then what are you without, adhering to what the social norms are around us? And I don't know. I just think there's a world outside of the world that we exist in.
Conspiracy theories.
Right. There's the lizards under the earth. Then the aliens in the water.
The algorithm.
Right.
The algorithm.
I like that.
All right, so we got to once again, we appreciate y'all for hanging out in the Mix Podcast. Jen, you fam. AJ, you fam now.
Yes, sir.
And so we got a few flyers we want to show. Once again, Sage, April 26th. He always do his thing.
And then this month is also kidney month awareness. So kidney disease awareness month is this month, and this
yes,
is something.
That is Judas.
Yes, that is me.
That is him.
And dialysis. And so this is something near and dear to me, and so we'll be doing next week. Fresh is not going to be here, and I'm going to do a show and interview
I got a getaway with my first wife.
That's with his first wife. That's the only reason why. If it wasn't with his first wife, I wouldn't excuse it. But
I ain't heard nothing.
Time together. But and I'm gonna have a dialysis nurse come on, and we're gonna talk and discuss. And there's one thing that was alarming about me is that this is something that's actually been affecting Black people more drastic and right now, and it has it ever been. And it's like, wow, I didn't even know about this. Now you're looking up, and we have a bigger percentage of it now of that have kidney failure. And so it's just a lot of things we're going to talk about, get aware, questions, and she's going to tell us things what to look for, how to get the precautions, see the signs and warning signs of it. I mean, because that's something that, actually change your life. So we're going to be talking about that. I might try to have I'm gonna have a co-host with me maybe to come in and tell her story about how she got her transplant and made the list and heard everything.
Yeah, go to that.
That'd be great.
And this one right here is Jude's birthday coming up, and we gonna set
roast.
Yeah, we get to roast him. Tell him he ain't got no legs and all kind of stuff. And that's why you.
This is gonna be good.
That's gonna be
because you know what? I told him, please don't have nobody come to roast me that can't take a roast back, because everybody know that at the end of the night, I'm gonna roast every last one of the people who roast me. So you better have some good ones.
Yeah, so
wait a minute, I have my roast in mind already, and I don't know if I want you to roast me.
Don't worry about that. He only get 3 minutes to respond to everybody that roast him.
That's it. I just gotta go down the line.
He may not even make it to you, Jen. He may not even make it to you.
Okay. Because I got a good one. I
got a whole bucket.
I'm sure you do. And then, I got a good one.
Yeah, crazy. Then lastly, this is the Black Business Expo event. Is April 26th, and it's a networking. So if anybody want to start a business, try to start a business, or entrepreneurship, is going to be people there to network with, talk to, get information with. It's going to be like a legal aid there, team there to show you what documents and what things, all of that stuff. It's going to be really good. It's information, networking. We're going to have food. We're going to have what's that called? Entertainment.
EXO's gonna sing.
Yes, entertainment. And so just look out for it. Get in touch with me with more information if you want to be a part of it.
Yeah, Jen already said she was coming.
Oh, well, Jen be such a busy person. I be stalking. I be feeling like I stalk people on Facebook when I try to catch up with people. Like, I ain't seen them in a minute. Let me see what's going on, what they into. Yes, I do that. I do that with everybody. Let me tell you something. Ask my family, true story. If I don't hear from them within a day, I call them the next day and complain about they didn't call me or text me and tell me what they do. I have to know what everyone's doing for the whole weekend. I know I can tell you where everybody at right now.
You should always have somebody who cares about enough to where, making sure that you're good, though.
You
It's a
tell
good
them
thing.
that, man, because they be talking about we ain't gotta tell you who you think you are.
It sounds like maybe you're being nosy. I don't know.
Oh yeah, definitely that. But look, once again, we appreciate you guys giving us y'all time, hanging out with us, man. We appreciate y'all for coming on. It means a lot because y'all care to give us y'all time. So we definitely care and appreciate y'all. And thank you. So please give out y'all tags one more time before we go ahead and sign off.
Jenny?
All right.
Yeah, Jen, you go first. Yours long.
Miss _ Jenny with the I _ Rivas RIVAS. That's Instagram. Then I got my Facebook, which is Jennifer Rivas Murillo, RIVAS MURILLO. And then then my TikTok, they call me Profesora, PROFESORA. And then Jen in the City is my other TikTok. So check me out.
Jen, you know how to do sign language, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Judas.
Okay.
Me and Judas supposed to be doing a song together.
Right.
And
I know that's why I brought it up.
Yeah, we filmed. I told you that. And I'm about to form another sign language choir in Detroit. Why?
So Jen, after AJ drop his tags, can you go ahead and sign us out and say thanks for joining in the next podcast? Till next time.
Dang, that's a lot you want to hear. Okay.
No, you got after AJ though.
I like it, Jen.
Let AJ go ahead and get his tag.
Yeah. The easiest way, man, is I'm on Instagram, AJJOINER, AJ Joyner. And on TikTok, I'm Blooksy, BLOOKSY.
All right. Okay, Jen, take us out of here.
On our podcast scene, we blaze our own groove.